Okay, hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Happy Memorial Day. I'm posting this on Monday. And also, I wanted to mention as well that I have a new video editing program. And Tamora, it was just time to call it quits because Tamora was frustrating me. It was shutting down. It was not doing voiceover correctly. And, I was paying for the subscription and I canceled it. So, here we are with CapCut, and I actually honestly like it better. So that's not the point of today's video. The point is I'm in a drawing mood. I'm going to draw some spirit portraits in my sketchbook, and here's the voiceover for that. So welcome back to my sketchbook. Today we're going to do something really special, spirit portraits. In my last video I posted on Sunday, I did spirit portraits in my sketchbook. This isn't just about drawing faces for me. It's about tuning into energy, emotion, little snapshots of lives, and letting stories come through while I draw. These are not just any stories, these are memories that my spirit portraits have. Sometimes I get feelings first and what they're feeling and if they're upset, crying, or happy. Sometimes I hear little phrases, and sometimes I see things like in these drawings here, my mind's eye, my third eye, almost like memories floating past me. And honestly, the stories are where the messages come from. I don't come from messages out in the air. I used to do that. And I used to be like, oh, be strong, or not generic messages. That's the biggest thing I've learned lately. The messages aren't forced. It grows naturally out of the spirit's experience, their emotions, and the moment they're showing me. So while I sketch, I let my mind wander. I pay attention to symbols like the telephone here. Emotions, colors, memories, body language, tiny details such as roses or a flower crown like you see here. A phone suddenly might appear. It might suddenly matter. A hat might feel important, or a beard that could be fun to draw. It could also be reminding me of comfort or wisdom or creativity. And then the story slowly unfolds while I'm drawing. So let's get into today's portraits and spirit stories that I want to share that my third eye came up with. And the very first spirit I'm drawing is a little girl sitting on the phone. When I started sketching her, the very first thing I noticed was how tightly she held the phone cord in her fingers, like she didn't want to let go. And immediately I got a feeling of nervousness, but also excitement. I started seeing the story in my head unfold as a movie. Her name came through as Lily. She's probably around 8 or 9 years old. She's sitting in the hallway of a small house late at night in pink pajamas, little stars on them. The kitchen light is on behind her. Everybody else is asleep. And she's on her phone with her grandmother. Not because something bad happened, but because she couldn't sleep from a difficult day of school. I could see paper crumpled up in her backpack. She had got embarrassed reading out loud in class that day. I felt like she wasn't smart enough. She was trying so hard not to cry. And her grandmother stayed on the phone with her for an hour, not lecturing her, not trying to fix her, just listening, telling her story when she was little, laughing softly with her, making her sniff again. And I kept hearing this phrase while drawing her, stay on this line a little longer. And that phrase became the heart of the message. Because sometimes healing doesn't come from huge dramatic moments. Sometimes healing is just someone staying, someone listening, someone making you feel less alone in your hardest moments. And honestly, I think a lot of people need that reminder right now, and me included. The message from Lily's spirit story feels like this: your voice deserves space in this world, even as the chicks. I love that so much because she's scared to speak in class, but the spirit story itself becomes proof that her voice mattered all along. And that's what I mean. I say the stories create the message naturally. I'm not sitting here trying to invent random motivational quotes. The message is hidden inside the emotional truth of the story itself. So while I'm shading her face, I'm thinking about warmth, soft lamp light, safety, comfort, the feeling of hearing somebody's voice when you need it the most. And I think my spirit portraits feel so emotional to me, like they stop being just drawings. They become memories. All right, now let's move on to the second portrait, or in a few minutes we'll move on to the second portrait as I sit here and draw the roses of the flower crown on the little girl. So now I think the spirit is a man with a hat and beard. The second I started sketching him, I immediately feel artistic energy. Start for the coffee. Methane creative energy, paint on the hands, late night, jazz music, playing softly somewhere in the back. His name feels like Foster to me. And honestly, he feels like the kind of person who carried emotions through art instead of words. When I started drawing the beard especially, I suddenly saw this tiny art studio apartment in my mind. Canvases stacked against walls, to open windows during summer rain. Sketches everywhere, coffee cups everywhere, absolute chaos, but comforting chaos. And I saw him sitting at the easel after midnight painting, the same ocean scene over and over again, not giving up. Not because he was failing, because he was grieving. I get the feeling he lost somebody important to him years earlier, maybe a wife, maybe a brother. But I'm getting teary-eyed as I read the story out loud to you guys. But painting became the way he kept sticking to them. And that's when the story deepened for me. People around him thought he was stuck in the past, but Spirit kept showing me that the art was the bridge between his memories and the present moment. Painting him kept him alive and emotionally. And then I heard this phrase really clearly while sketching him. The canvas listened when nobody else did. Wow, that hit hard. Because I think sometimes creative people understand that feeling. Sometimes art becomes a safe place, especially grieving, to pour emotions that are too difficult to explain out loud. Or so while adding shadows to his hat and texture to the beard, I'm thinking about emotion trapped inside brushstrokes. Every wrinkle on the face starts feeling like it's life experience instead of just anatomy. That is very important to me because sometimes we get hooked onto anatomy and we get caught up in making mistakes or we get caught up in fixing up mistakes. And this message feels incredibly deep but gentle at the same time. Creating is not wasting time, it's surviving. It's survival. I absolutely love his message and it touches my soul. Conspiracy stories aren't always flashes or dramatic. Sometimes they're not. They're about ordinary people carrying extraordinary emotion quietly. And sometimes I rely on heavily on spirit stories for my messages now. The stories feel alive. They feel personal. They feel specific. When I used to be forcing messages at first, sometimes it felt disconnected. But now I let the portrait guide me, and sometimes I let the spirit guides guide me, and energy guide me. I let the spirit show me moments, scenes, memories, feelings, and the meaning reveal itself naturally afterward. I'm getting teary-eyed, guys. It almost feels like putting emotional puzzle piece while drawing. A phone becomes connection, a hat becomes identity, paint becomes healing, a hallway becomes loneliness, a lamp becomes safety. Tiny details suddenly matter. And that honestly my favorite part of spirit portraits lately. Is telling stories through art is like the most important thing you can do. The portraits slowly transform an entire emotional world. It's something I've noticed the longer I stay in the drawing, the more details come through. That's why I love spending extra time layering shadows and textures now. It gives me time to sit with the spirit longer. Almost like a movie continuing to play in my mind while my hands stay busy sketching. Sometimes I suddenly feel a gift phrase and halfway through shading, and sometimes spirits flee while working on a portrait. You know what? That's okay. Sometimes the memory comes through while drawing closing pools. Sometimes the emotions hit the hardest while drawing the eyes especially. I swear sometimes the eyes are the final thing that wakes up the portrait emotionally for me. And that's when it stops feeling like I'm simply drawing somebody. It starts feeling something like to me a tiny fragment of story. So yeah, that's a little less how I create portraits, their portraits lately. I really trust the stories now. I trust the emotion, I trust the symbols, and I trust the messages that naturally rise out of them. And I use my psychic clairaudience, clairvoyance, I use all that. Now, every spirit has a story to be huge or supernatural. Sometimes the deepest ones are about human moments, a late night phone call, an old painting studio, a quiet memory someone tried to heal. And honestly, those gentle moments are sometimes the most powerful message of all. So thank you guys for seeing me while I worked in my sketchbook today. I genuinely love creating these portraits so much lately. It feels like combining storytelling, intuition, which is the most important to me, emotion, and all the art all together. And I love to know which spirit connected to with you more today. Is it the little girl or Walter? Or the artist with the hat and beard? So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you have any questions, I'm gonna put music on the rest of the video. If you have, if you want me to do you a second reading, let me know in the comments down below. Message me on Instagram, email Anna08. Um, and I can do a tarot card reading for you guys or something. It'll be free. If you have any questions, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a happy Memorial Day and I hope to celebrate. And thank you guys for the soldiers who served our country and everything. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye, guys.